Hey, what's going on, everybody? What's going on, everybody? Listen, I know what y'all are thinking. It's a little bit after 3 o'clock Central Standard Time. So you're right. We are live for another episode of Book Talk Live. And you're probably wondering what was the big question mark about, right? What is this big question mark about? Who is he gonna have? You talking about a launch? He didn't do a book launch this weekend. What's going on? Well, today I'm joined by a few members of the BOBM publishing team. Um, and so normally, and I was just telling my brother Kenneth, we normally I don't make announcements, and I don't make announcements with good reason. But today we're making an announcement. Just kind of letting everybody know what the future of BOBM is, so that those of you out there who are sitting on the fence, um, trying to figure out what's going on with the BOBM, what's the next step, where have they been, why they so quiet. Uh, we back, we here. All right. So how y'all doing today? What's going on, Kenneth? What's going on, Corlette?
We good. What's going on? I'm good. Yep.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Listen, and I know a lot of y'all that have kind of been keeping up with the personal page. Y'all know who Corlette is. That's my older sister. We grew up. She's 9 years older than me. But I before I even jump into today, I kind of want to share a story, and this one is one that I don't think we've ever really shared with the world. Um, just to let y'all know, a lot of times people say I'm here for a reason, I'm here on purpose. Well, out of me and my sister are the only two that grew up in the household. Now, it wasn't just two of us that were born out of that household. Um, we actually had we actually had three more. My mom had a set of twins before my sister that did not make it, and she had a girl after me that did not make it. So the two of us have been living our lives on purpose, with purpose, and leave history wherever we track, right? And so saying that to say, this is very historic, that this is one of the first times that I've actually had my sister join me on a major project, a major team. So that's the only part of the story that I wanted to share with y'all. Most of y'all probably did not know, but we come from strength, and so that's what this is all about. I see we got Miss Nisi that just joined us as well. So bef- while we continue, and my sister is driving and holding that phone, I want to introduce y'all to a few members of the BOBM team, of the BOBM family. We got Mr. Kenneth Wilson, Miss Monica Nisi, Earl Washington, Miss Carlette Gidry Falkway. And so I want y'all to kind of introduce yourselves to the people.
Well, I'm gonna let ladies go first.
Well, of course, you all know that I'm driving, so I apologize for that. I'm being safe as possible. I'd just like to say I'm very proud of my brother. Congratulations. I'm honored to happy to be here. And I'm going to go on mute so I can focus on the road.
Oh, well. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Hello to everybody. I am glad to be here. Of course, I'm honored to be a part of BOBM. I'm honored to meet such great people. This is a grand opportunity for me that I do not take lightly. So, I'm just gonna say hello, and I gotta throw a boom in there. It's always a boom pleasure to be here. Now I'm going on mute.
Boom.
All right, it's just me left again. My name is Kenneth Wilson. Um, I've done a lot of work with BOBM on the book side. We've done a couple little things, couple bestsellers, things like that. But just excited now to actually work on the other side and actually present some things to you all, some opportunities for authors and upcoming authors too. So I'm excited for this part.
Yeah, yeah. Listen, listen, Linda, listen, right? Um, so a lot of times when we have these videos, what we are doing is just kind of talking about books and talking about the future of books, or how you can take your book to the next level. Today we just kind of want to go behind the scenes with the team of BOBM and just give y'all a little bit of insight, because most of the time I think it was on one of Chip Baker's launches that Victor Pazano, or as we know him, Ron, said, you kind of like we don't know what you do behind the scenes, Sugar Ray, but we know that every time you touch a project, it goes to number one. So, it's not just me. And so I want y'all to kind of get a chance to meet the team, meet those behind the scenes that are working. And just to give y'all a heads up, it ain't just these four that you see in front of you today. We've actually done some expanding, so there's even an international leg of BOBM that is coming very, very, very soon. So I kind of want everybody to talk a little bit about where you'll be filling in um, with the team. So in case anybody has any questions, they can chime in with us.
Again, I'm always go ladies first. We got two wonderful women on here. I'm gonna let y'all go first.
Well, I'll talk first, and then I'm going to have to excuse myself. So my role is going to be behind the scenes, where I'm going to be helping with the thank yous and the thank you for your contribution. Just giving you friendly reminders that your book is coming out. Payment is due. So I'm just more of the part of the management team of keeping everything running smoothly in the background.
Absolutely. That was a nice way of saying it. Saying, pay your fare. Pay your fare.
And I'm going to get off the line now, okay? Because I am driving.
Be safe on that
But
road. Love
success. Bye.
you. All right, Ms.
Well, I
Nisha.
guess it's my time. It's my time. So, where I come in at is more. I am customer relations. I like people. I am old Southern girl, so we don't just walk by people and not speak. If we want to know a little bit more about them, we just go ahead on and ask them, "How you doing? What you do?" So I'm going to be coming in on another level, getting to know customers. I think that's very important on how to interact with people, dealing with the feedback. So if you have, process of something you don't like, you want to get some feedback. We don't want nobody to leave with a negative feeling. I want to come in on a positive, nurturing part where I want to be able to help the customer, be able to get them to engage, to extend. Uh, on that note, being able to say to build, when I talk about engage to extend, talking about, you know, it's always like this for me. Everything costs, nothing is free. You might get a couple of gems. You might get a couple of great gems that may be dropped on purpose. But anytime you're trying to do something good, and it is going to be always good when you're dealing with BOBM, bring your checkbook, bring your credit card. You're gonna need a couple of dollars here. You need a little change. And most of the time you ain't gonna need to change that rattle. You need to bring a little change where you can hear it squeak in your ear, dollar bill. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna nurture this project and we're gonna take your feedback. So I'm coming in as customer relations. I want to get to know you. How can we build to make this moment great for you? What feedback can we bring together? What are you going to give me? I want to take that positive and make it that negative and make it a positive, because we don't anticipate too many negatives going on here. So that's where I come in at. I'm just going to come on in, talk to you. We're going to talk about it. We're going to nurture it. We're going to bring it on in. And don't forget, bring your checkbook, bring your credit card. We got to talk about it. And we're going to get it all down. And then we're going to go on about our business. That's what I'm going to come to do. Boom.
Boom. Boom.
Right. Um, then a little bit for me, this actually goes back to my previous experience, to a previous world. And I used to be a business consultant. So I always say Sugar Ray is pulling me out of retirement. He's pulling me back in. But it's actually for a good cause. I'm actually excited about this. And my role in this is really about internal systems. Capacity building is another term you might use. But it's just, this company has been very successful in what it does. And as the company grows and expands into new territories, into new philosophies, into different visions, to just make sure that the company can handle those things and is ready for it. So for me, it's coming in and making sure those internal systems are in place, making sure everybody has what they need. It's not about it's to keep this thing a well-oiled running machine. And so that's my experience. That's what I've been successful and good at, in helping other companies achieve that. And so that's what I'm going to continue to do here.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, and systems are important. The customer relations are important, and so this is the collections is important. So these are, like I said, these are just a few of the people that are on the back end, that you will begin to meet throughout the next few years, and the long term vision is at least the next 10 years. I'm not going to share exactly why I say the next 10 years. You all will find that out very, very soon as well. But um, as a company, one thing that we want to do is we actually want to help those of you who are out there. And here's the philosophy. I'm going to say it, and I'll speak it boldly, because I can't bite my tongue no more. Right? There are a lot of brand new publishers that are stepping into the industry. There are a lot of new people that are starting writing courses, and that are starting different things, because you've written your first book or you've written your second book, and all of a sudden, you, as we know, as any new author knows, the minute that your book is published, people will begin to ask you, hey, can you help me write my book? Can you help me with this project? And so what we're discovering is that it's pretty much putting a very bad name on the industry in general. And so as a team that has been in this industry for at least 5 years, we started the coaching process back in 2018. We started the publishing fully as a business in 2021. And so what we are looking to do is bring that level of excellence to the publishing industry in general. We aren't saying that, hey, we're trying to badmouth anybody, we're trying to do anybody wrong. What we are trying to do is reestablish the guidelines, reestablish the baselines, and do it at a level of excellence that you all expect from a publisher, from a publishing house. Um, and so some of the people that aren't here today, that are part of the team, our our business funding leg of the team, our marketing and sales division of the team, the talent. And when I say the talent, oh man, listen, we have some amazing people that have been working on projects, that continue to work on projects, editors with over 10 years experience of editing, designers with over 10 years plus designing experience, the marketing leg, building different things for you when it comes down to your project. And when I say different things, I'm talking, I won't give you everything that we can do as a company. That's something that you'd actually have to set that call up for, because we do have in a different in a different organization. We call them Collins and eavesdroppers that listen to see what's going on behind the scenes, right? So we won't give you everything, but what we will say is that we do have different marketing services specifically for authors that can take you to the next level of success. And I'm not saying it because it's not something that we do. I'm saying it because it's something that we do very well. We have people that have the legal side of our team to make sure that we're in compliance when it comes down to the things that we do, not just as far as the authors go, but internally within the team. We we discussed earlier, the customer relations, the account management, the business systems. These are all things, and then the project management piece of it. And that project management is so important because one thing that I've discovered, and I'll say this loud and clear, over the past few years, is that some people go along with the process and everything is successful, and some people need to know everything about the process. So we're bringing in those project managers so that you have those direct conversations with the project management team, the account management team, the customer relations team, to kind of keep you on track as far as what's going on. And we're doing this because we want to provide you with those services at a much higher level, and not only at a higher level, but also at a level of excellence, so that when you see your friends and family and they're congratulating you on the project, they're excited for you. But we also know how to set the expectations that just because they're congratulating you, that doesn't mean that they're happy for you. And just because they're not happy for you doesn't mean that they're not congratulating you. Sometimes the best feedback comes in the form of negativity. That's how we've continued to grow. The things that we've made mistakes with, that's the reason that we have such a huge team at this point and getting ready to roll out a huge vision. So um, that's the piece from directly from the CEO of the company. I'm gonna let that one breathe for a second. The CEO of the company, the visionary. Um, so we do have a lot that is coming down the pipeline. I'll let y'all chime in anything that y'all want to say, because I know both Kenneth and Miss Nisi have been around BOBM to some capacity for at least the past 2 years now. So
Well, I know one thing I'll say just from the experience of going through this process of not just with BOBM but also with other agencies as well too, is that from the customer standpoint, from an author standpoint, you know, you want to especially for new authors, it's a very new process. It's a very scary process. It can be intimidating, and so it's important to have people come alongside you to be able to guide you in these moments. That was one of the best things for me to know that, like, okay, not only, and I've seen this both ways where it's like, for example, BOBM. I knew where everything was going. I knew the direction of the project. There was communication in every step of the way. It was laid out to me beforehand. But then I've also been in situations where it was like I submitted my writing and it was like I'm in the dark for a couple of weeks. Okay, what's going on? I got to reach out to people. I got to find people. Oh, there's a new person. I don't know who that is. Like, so to have all these things in place, it makes it a better experience for the author, for the customer here. And that's why we all are coming together to do this for you all. Like I said, we're putting all these things in place to get an even better experience for people who want to write. Writing is a very intimate process. It's a very personal process for a lot of people. And so to put this out there to the world, you just want to have some comfort to know that you have a company that has your back, that has your best interest at heart, that communicates with you and bring and get you there, And so that's why I'm excited for this. So to put all that together, I wanted to share that.
absolutely.
Well, Kenneth said it. He said it all, because that's how it was for me when I first started this process in the unknown, being the first time, and it's just like, you know, uh, like a mother. like a mother of a newborn child. You can't expect that child to just jump from being out the womb to being able to walk. It's milestones to that. It is a process to that. Is it a scary process when you're a first timer? Yes, it is. Is it intimidating? Yes, it is. And just as Kenneth said, he was in the dark for a couple of weeks. Oh, don't know what's going on. Oh, there's a new person. It is a process, but I will tell you that with BOBM, with this process in place, it's going to cover every milestone. You will not miss a beat. So just like you got a newborn and then they cry, they whine 2-3 months, and then by this time they're coming off of the bottle. Now they're ready to have the cereal, and you have to follow the process with a newborn child. If you give them food too early, you're going to mess their digestive system up. So if you're coming in and you don't know the process, okay, if we give you the wrong information, or we don't give you the right information, or we give you too much, it's going to cloud your mind up.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure that all milestones are covered, all processes are covered. After a while, you'll look up and you'll be like, oh, I'm walking, I'm not crawling, I'm not holding on to anything. And then next thing you know, you're going to start to glide because the process is in place, just like a baby with a milestone. Give it time. You got to strengthen up. You got to learn. And after a while, you'll be walking. Follow the process.
Yeah, yeah. Can also throw this in here too, because I know I'll probably say it, Sugar. Right? I know you might not want to. I know you want to touch it, but let's be honest here. There's a lot of, like you said before, there's a lot of these new companies, these new entities popping up. All you gotta do is scroll on social media, you see them, and everybody's promising these author services, right? Um, Me being a business consultant, one thing I've always been big on is when you go to someone, and not even just in this realm, but in business in general, you got to do your homework on who you're dealing with, right? There's a lot of these companies popping up in this world, and they're offering all these kinds of services, but there's no proven track record of doing this, right? And that's a problem, because like you said before, I've seen this. Where people jump out there, they say, "Oh, I'm a publisher, I do X, Y, Z," and it's like you go to try to look them up, or okay, where's your track record? Who have you worked with? What have you put out? And there's nothing there.
Mm-hmm.
That to me, that's almost like a form of scamming. You're a scammer at that point. But everybody thinks they can do certain things. And it's like there's a lot of work that goes on the back end to this. This is not just you typing it up, submitting it, throwing it out there, think you got a book. There's a lot of steps, the proper steps that need to happen. And so as authors, y'all, we got to be careful out there of who you're sending your writing to. Like you said, if this is like a baby, it's like a newborn baby. You do not hand your baby off to this anybody.
Yeah.
You have to be able to trust the people that are around you in your circle with your baby. Your writing, your book is your baby. So you have to be able to trust the company that you go to, research them, look them up, see who they've worked with. What is their track record? What is their history? How long have they been around? How much have they generated? Like this, dude, those are things you need to figure out when you do business with somebody. This is no different. And so I say that because the things that are happening now, like BOBM has already had a track record. These are things you can really go figure out. I've Googled, I've done that before too, but that's the thing. That's something that has to be addressed in terms of just the industry, So I wanted to throw that out there too.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I'm 100% with you because you'd be surprised how many times we've gotten calls from people and this is almost the exact phrase. I was working with somebody else and they told me that they could, and the experience was nothing like what they told me. And so, we take that serious. Before I jumped out as an entrepreneur, I had 20 years of customer service experience, 20 years of sales experience. So on both sides of the field, I look at it from the customer's perspective, right? And there's also a thing that says you can't please everybody. So we understand that everybody is not somebody for that is going to be a good mesh. And so you want to look at what it is that we've done, but you also want to look at what is your work type, because there are some people that just do not work well with others. There are some people who there are a ton of people who like there's certain people that we love working with and have worked with multiple times. Yourself, Kenneth, Miss Nisi, Chip. These are names that come to the top of mind because it's an easy process on both ends, right? Um, and so it's not just the business side, but it's also the customer side. And we want to build those partnerships because we do understand that those relationships are important. There are certain things on the front end that we do extremely well. And the reason that this team has grown is because there were certain things on the back end that we weren't necessarily doing the best. And so we had to tighten up some of those systems, clear some of those gaps in what it is that we're doing. For example, we brought Kenneth in as a business consultant. Reason being, this guy has a track record of working with businesses and helping them to develop those systems, not just develop those systems, but also to help them grow and scale. Um, so you know, short plug, but true plug. If you are a business and you need somebody to help you scale, then you may want to reach out to Kenneth on the back end. But do me a favor, don't reach out to him if your checkbook, as Miss Nisi said, is not right. Because that's what we've done to so many people. And authors have done it to us. Well, I'm ready, I'm ready. Okay, well, this is the fee. And then you see all this stuff, and I call it, I'm just gonna call it malarkey. That ain't even a word that's in my normal vocabulary. But you see all this malarkey about if they're charging you for services, then that's a scam. No, it's not. Because if you want to give birth to a book, and a book is really you really have to give birth to that thing, because these words come from somewhere. They don't just show up. They come from somewhere. They come from internal. They come from your experiences. They come from your life. They come from the things that you know that you are actually putting onto the paper, right? And I'm gonna get real scriptural real quick. It says, write the vision and make it plain. Well, once you wrote the vision and make it plain, then at the appointed time, the heralds will come and run with it. And we are what you would call those heralds that can run with your vision and take you and show you. You don't just have a book, you got a business sitting inside of this thing, right? And so the reason that I'm bringing that up is because once you give your vision, which is your book, your project, this is literally your baby that you're giving birth to. Then now it has to be nurtured, it has to be developed, it has to be taken through a certain process before it's ready for the world to see it. Because I'll be honest with y'all, some of the projects that we've worked with, when they came in, they didn't look like they look when they go out. And that's not throwing any shade at anybody, but it's being honest, right? There's a lot of development that goes into it, a lot of developmental editing, a lot of when it comes down to the vision for the cover. That cover has to come from somewhere. And so I know the work that it takes for a designer to go in and get the vision that's up here in most people's heads and put it onto paper. That formatting is very meticulous. It's not just something, okay, I'm gonna throw it in Microsoft Word and all of a sudden it works. No, there's systems that are used to do this, right? And so when you look at the overall process of bringing a book to fruition, on the front end, we've been extremely successful because our talent is top notch. Our designers have experience. Our editors have experience. Our formatting team has experience. This ain't. eh, Let me get real hood with y'all real quick. We ain't know to this. We true to this. I'm talking about. This is the life that we live. We talk books all day, every day. And so when you hear those people out there that are spitting this, well, if you're a first time author, you can just go and do it yourself. I tried that route. Honestly, took me 5 years to get a book out. 5 years to get a book out. I did very well with that book. Started a program because of that book, but it was because of my hustle. It was because of my passion. It was because of the intention with which that book was written. It wasn't just written so that I could say I wrote something. I hate writing. I've said this on so many videos. I absolutely hate writing, but it's my calling is much higher than what most people give me credit for. I know that. I know that. But guess what? I don't get mad at you because you can't see what God put in me. But when I wrote that first book, it took me 5 years to get it out. And then I ran with it and turned it into something. So for most people, that 5 years that it took them to write a book, once that book was out, they sat it on the shelf. That one book turned into over 400 plus authors who have now been blessed because of the sacrifice and the season. That's what we're here for. That's what we want to teach you as a family. I consider my team a family, right? And that's what we're here for, is because we want you all to take it to the next level. We don't just want you to have a book and just let it sit on the shelf, because that's not fair to you. That's not fair to your family. Kenneth, Miss Nisi, I want y'all to kind of talk on this one, on the legacy piece. What happened? What happened family wise after your books were published?
Oh man, you talking about in terms of not just you talking about legacy, right? Um, it's it's the it's the Kickstarter for a lot of things, right? The book is not the end. Like you go through this whole journey, you come up with the concept, you write it down, you edit, you do all of that, and once you publish, most people think, "Oh, I did this, I accomplished it." Actually, really, it's almost like the beginning of the journey at that point. That book can take you anywhere in life.
Mhm.
So me as a business person, there's so many different avenues you can go in. Like you, Sugar Ray, we've talked about like just opening doors, just having a conversation, just putting the title best-selling author in front of my name, just open doors just like that. It perks people up. Their ears perk up a little bit. You might have a little bit more to say. You sound a little bit more credible, right? You might be a little bit more credible. But just that alone gets things going. Then the actual product itself, people read it. Oh, wow, this is XYZ happens, this conversation there. You never know from where it can take you at that point. After these, like I said, for me, they come before I do. I put the books out there before you even see me. You know, People read those things, then they come back to me like, "Oh, this is amazing." They're already taking it somewhere else. So a lot of times I don't have to do the legwork and the hard work. That product, that baby has gone out to the world and grown up. We keep
Mhm.
using that baby reference. It's grown up, it's out there now, and then those things begin to happen. So that's why it's like it's branding. It's a whole nother level to it. You talking about its own business right there, right? Like I said, that's part of what you're trying to accomplish too. So again, those things speak for me. They go out before me. So it's really the beginning of all of that. Um, those things talk about legacy. Oh man, I get to talk about my own family, my daughters here, who you know, just even in the house, for them to see their dad, black man, as an author. Something that I've talked about this with Chip, I talked about with other people where it's like, we ain't never think about this stuff before. We were growing up, you know. So now we're talking about building family legacy here too. We're talking about building within your own household, within the people directly around you. Your words last forever. And that's one thing that's important to me. We can do all this stuff, we can talk to people, we can meet, but like the books are gonna be there. Those words will be there after I'm gone, And those are the things that are gonna last out here too. I'm a believer in this. We spend all our lives acquiring this knowledge, this wealth of knowledge, these experiences. And what do we do with them at the end of the day, right? They can't just die with us when we leave this earth, when we move on. But like, well, what do we do with them? I choose to do something with that, to share it somehow. There's a lot of different ways we share it, but one of them is I write them down. We put them down. You never know when somebody can read them. You never know what they can take from it when they do read it. Sometimes the cover can speak 1,000 words. You never know, right? And so that's why we talk about like all those things come together. That's what it is, y'all. That's what it is. That's the legacy part.
Come on.
How am I supposed to come behind all that? Like really? I, Kenneth just nails so much. I mean, it's so powerful. Like when you're talking about the avenues, the doors that it has opened. And I mean, for me, it's opened a tremendous amount of doors. I wrote going into my first book because I like to write. And I'm being the first author in my immediate family. So I didn't look to the left, I didn't look to the right, because if you go to the left, to the right, you're going to hear somebody saying, no, don't do that. Don't do that. No, you got to do it for you. This is you. This is your baby. You write for yourself. I knew I had children out here. So, of course, my thing was breaking generational curses and getting my children into a winning mindset frame of mind to win. So, my first book, I was like, okay, and that opened doors and was blessed because somebody else read my book, and there's a particular vendor in the Pentagon that has that book there. And then she was like, if you write any more books, let me know. So the winning mindset was, that's my baby right there. Oh my goodness, that's my baby. i'm a best time I'm a best-selling author, but that winning mindset, we all in that bad baby there, that opened some doors for me and took me totally out of my element because I am now doing the Winning Mindset podcast. I'm a host, and we're bringing people in. We're talking about people, that's winning. You want to talk about what did you go through, and whatever you want to talk about, or whatever you've been through in life. If you went through something that was very difficult, you went through something that was very hard, you went through something that was challenging, you went through something that crushed you and pushed you down to the dirt, then everybody took turns burying you, and then all of a sudden you realize, you ain't finna just throw all the dirt on me, and you come out of that. We want to know how you place yourself in a winning mindset to get there, because there's somebody else out there need to know the story. So far as me being a published author, I didn't see it. Was never talked about in my little small southern town. Was never heard of. Didn't have nobody to inspire me or motivate me to talk about, a book. A black woman writing a book, leaving a legacy for my two sons and my grandchildren. So when I go on to Glory Land, they can say, "Did y'all know G Ma wrote a book? Did y'all? Did anybody? Is there anybody else in our family that's an author?" And great books that can inspire, motivate. My first book, How to Write a Journal. That's the process to getting to writing a book. You need to learn how to journal. And then being able to go into the winning mindset and many other great things I've done. And the winning mindset is my baby because it comes with a workbook. So far as a legacy, you know, I've nailed that for my children. Doors have been open. I've had people that come in and say, "Hey, we got something going on," because I got something coming up May 6th, I believe it is. I don't have my calendar in front of me, so I'll be doing my books and I'll be doing some other great things. So I got everything in position, ready to go. Just like Kenneth say, I put my books out before they even see me. I'm gonna put my books out before you see me, but no, I'm coming. So yes, a lot of great things that go on here, but you can't go to the you got to X people out the way because there's going to be people on your left and your right that's going to be telling you, you can't do that. I don't know, I wouldn't do that. Stay focused. Then stay woke. If this is your vision and this is what you're doing, don't get to the people on the left or the right who ain't got nothing published. Because guess what? How they gonna tell you it ain't gonna work if they ain't got nothing published? So on the last little note, a negative zero and a negative zero is a double negative zero. You ain't going nowhere. Get with somebody that's then turned zeros into ones and took them on up to some twos, and then they going on up to some five. Get with that person, because even 1 plus 1 is 2, but you can't do nothing with 0 plus 0. Take your baby, write it down, come on over here so we can talk about it. And let's see how we gonna nurture that baby and turn that baby around. Cause I'm a product of it. That's a boom for me. That's all I got.
Come on, listen, listen, and I love the fact that y'all are on, and part of the team now, because I remember when Miss Nisi, I can give stories for when I met both of y'all. I'm gonna go into the legacy piece just to jump in, and then then we'll go into some introductions, and we also got another special guest whenever they turn that camera on, that's gonna jump on with us. But I remember in 2015 when that first box of books came to my doorstep, and I opened it. Well, there was a young man who was 7 years old at the time. And this was the legacy piece for me. This was when I knew that God was on to something. And that was my son. He was 7 at the time, and he just looked at me, and this look I'll never forget, this look of pride and admiration. And he said, Dad, he said, when I get older, I want to be an author and a speaker too. And 2 years later, we published his first book, a children's book. Because a lot of people will sit back and say, well, I don't have anything to write. We wrote a children's book that was about 32 pages, which was now that was in 2015. He said it. 2017, we published it. April of 2017. 2018, he had his first book signing tour, official book signing tour. Had the flyer, had his banner, had his books. People coming. I remember one 17-year-old girl. She just came around the corner, and she was kind of peeking. She was like, because he's sitting at the table. Imagine a 10-year-old sitting at the table like this. And he just has this look like I'm supposed to be here, because he was supposed to be there. This was his moment. Not only did she come around that corner, but she did it multiple times. And finally she came back to him and she was like, you're only 10 years old and you're a published author? Oh my God. And she went back and she got her parents and she said, look, Mom, look, Dad, he's 10 years old and he's already published. There was something in her that was sparked like that because of him. The next year he had his first paid speaking engagement at 11 years old. Saying all this to say that we don't take this lightly. We're not somebody that's out here that's like, oh, I just want to do it because there's money in it. Yes, there is money in it. It's a business. But at the same time, we know the impact of changing lives, that people, we know the impact that this has and how it changes lives and how it changes your family's life if you take it serious. And that's what we want to do. I remember, and I'm going to go back into when I first met Miss Nisi and when I first met Kenneth. First met Miss Nisi, and Miss Nisi was in one of those places, like just a bad place in life, right? Um, and I won't go into too much detail, but we'll just say that everybody has those dark moments in their life where they're sitting back and they want something different. Well, Miss Nisi was introduced to me by somebody that I don't even know how to contact this person, honestly, anymore. But when we met, it was instant. It was like, okay, I have this project. There's something that I want to do. There's something that I want to get out. I got a story. How do I get this story? How do I get this story out there? And we started working on it. And her first book went #1 on Amazon. And she said, "Oh my gosh, sugar! I'm a best-selling author. Little old me from the country town. And I can't do Miss Nisi because Miss Nisi got that accent. But she hit it with the boom. I got the number one bestseller. And a few, I want to say last year when we launched the winning mindset, we launched 3 books at one time. So she went from one to 4-time number one bestseller. And then there was a book after that. And so now she's a 5-time Amazon number one bestseller. And so I take this personal. Then you talk about Kenneth, my brother from another mother. We met through Chip, through another project. And when I say that his heart and his energy was there, and Kenneth came to me after the book and was like, "Man, hey, I got a project that I want to do. I know I work with a group of men, and they have stories, and we want to talk about love because his thing is love. It's genuinely love, and you can feel it when you're around him. Like there is no doubt. And I want to salute you because when you said you wanted to do the project, guess what happened? You did the project. And I'm saying that because there's so many people that have good intentions but just don't follow through. And it's I know that it's fear a lot of times that slows people down, and fear is just false evidence appearing real, right? So we know where that came from. But not only did you do the project for the men, but after you did the project for the men, you were in the winning mindset book with us. So again, that took you from 2 to now 5. And then you did another 2 projects recently. So you should be at a 7-time number one best.
It's really 9 with the workbooks and stuff. It's really 9.
Okay.
Yeah,
See?
I had to go back and double check myself. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. So this is the power of staying connected. And that's why I say when we work with you, we do genuinely become family. And one reason that I had to bring in a larger team is because a lot of times um I do have that family spirit. I do have that. There's certain houses that when we were growing up, everybody had the house in the neighborhood where you everybody went to this one house because it was so much love. But guess what happened in that same house where there was so much love? There was also a lot of fighting going on. There was also a lot of people, clothes come up missing, or back in the day, the CDs would come up missing, the VHS tapes, the DVDs come up missing, but it was still nothing but love. And so there is nothing but genuine love in this house that we call BOBM. But at the same time, it has to be protected in a much different way than it's been protected before, because everybody don't know how to walk in your house. Take your shoes off first, man. Like, come on, take your shoes off. Understand where you at. So we have somebody that who listen. When I tell y'all, I could give you a story about her, but it is 3:53 p.m. Central. It's 4:53 Eastern. It's actually 9:53. I got it right. It's 9:53 where she's at. She's in the UK. I'm not talking about I'm not talking about under the night's tent. I don't know. UK, United Kingdom. United Kingdom. And she said, listen, I love what y'all are doing. I'm moving and shaking. Let's make this, let's take this thing international. So, Miss Angela, go ahead and introduce yourself. Let these people know who you are, and let them know what it's like across the pond.
Hello, everybody. I am so sorry I came on late. I tried having a nap, but I was gone. I was so gone. But thankfully, I, I caught you guys on time. Um, so my name is Angela Riafe, and on social media, I'm Angela Nefesh in Bloom. and nefesh is Hebrew for living soul, and in bloom means being in constant season. So basically, nefesh in bloom is being a living soul in constant season, how to be relevant and fruitful throughout every life's transition. And that is what I'm about. That's what my brand is about. And it's a great honor for me to be a part of this amazing team, amazing, beautiful people. We met together yesterday, and I was so blown away by everyone's accomplishments and their skills and talents, and it's so amazing. And I'm looking forward to the great future ahead. So, I think I'm the baby of the group. So, Sugar Ray, just introduce me. I'm still a baby.
Listen, 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 Linda, listen, listen. Now, Angela says that she's the baby of the group, right? But I kind of want to brag on her because she's not. She's one of those writers that loves writing so much that she is a 5-time international number one best-selling author. Not only is she a 5-time
Yeah.
number one best-selling author, but she's currently working on a project where she's allowing others to join the movement that she has and getting her first project where she is the lead author, the visionary author, and it will
Hmm.
be an international bestseller. So I know it's a lot of people out here that have said, "Hey, I want to be international. I want to go international." We got the plug. She is
Yeah.
getting ready to take BOBM, not only local but international. So if you are
International.
if you're in the US and you're like, man, how do I become an international bestseller? We got to hear it. If you are
Boom.
across the water, across the pond, and you're like, wait a minute, I want to write a book. I've been thinking about it, and all these companies are telling me what they can do, or all these people are telling me what they can do, and they ain't got no track record. Guess what? I started to kind of let y'all in and just see the a bunch of the authors that we've done, but we're at 428 number one best-selling authors.
Mm.
428. We got the receipts. But Angela is Miss Wiafe is getting ready to take it to the international level. So I'm gonna put a challenge out there that just about every author that we work with going forward should be an international best-selling author
Mm.
as well.
Yeah.
I'm with
Yeah.
it. So listen, y'all. Do y'all have and Angela, tell them a little bit more about you and your experience because you also came through BOBM as an author. Um,
Mm.
your one of the projects that you were on was back in October, launched you to a bestseller,
Yeah.
and you went number one in 4 different countries with that
Yeah.
project. So let's talk about
Yeah.
how things have changed for you since you become an international bestselling author.
Ooh, it's been amazing. It's been an amazing journey. And just like you said, I'm an author who I don't see myself in limited situations. I don't like to put a cap on my abilities and my skills. So I just write and write and write, and I love writing. And since becoming, an international best-selling number one best-selling international author in 4 countries, I mean, it was so amazing. I've gone on to connect and collaborate with such amazing people. One which I didn't know at that time, was also um how do I say? She was an affiliate of BOBM, and I just recently found out when Sugar Ray told me was Dr. Sonia Lowe, and it's been amazing because I co-hosted an international global. It was a Power Lead Hair Tour conference in London with her and Dr. Angela Banks, and it was a great conference for women, which was in March, round about the International Women's Day weekend, just about that time. And it was also around the time that UK we celebrated Mother's Day. So it was just a Kairos season, right on time for us. And we had such an amazing time. And since then, I've gone on to write other books, and it's been an amazing journey for me. And I'm looking forward to more. And talking about my personal um, collaboration that I'm putting out, collaboration is the new color in town. You cannot be a one man island. They say if you want to go far, you need to work together, and collaboration is a great strategy that I came upon, and which led me to become a number one best international seller, and which progressed me, and now I'm a part of such an awesome team. So collaboration is something that you would want to be a part of, and it doesn't sometimes it doesn't land on your laps, but this one is really right in your face, that you cannot ignore. You cannot afford to miss this opportunity. And I would invite you and welcome you, to be a part of this great mission. We're going places. We are smashing every glass ceiling, and
Um,
you don't want to miss this opportunity. You don't want to miss this opportunity. Yeah.
come on, listen. Yeah, Miss Nisi said it. Boom. and so Miss Nisi, I think you remember Dr. Sonia Lowe.
I do.
Yeah,
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
yeah, that's one of Miss Nisi's favorite artists,
Yes,
favorite
yes,
authors.
yes, yes. Major con. She contributed so much when she launched that one book. Her first, well, it's been. I don't have the date in front of me, but I remember everything that she said. So I actually own her book. So, uh, I, she said do something, and I do it on a regular.
Yeah, it was it was around. I know exactly what you're talking about. It was around it was around 2021. I want to say I want to say maybe September, October 2021 when she launched her book Becoming Bear. So yeah, we're very familiar. And that's why I say the BOBM family is so deep and so far spread so far and so wide that you never know who we worked with. And when I saw these two ladies, Angela Wiafe and Dr. Sonia Lowe, on the same ticket, I was like, oh my God. Because listen, Dr. Sonia Lowe. I know her husband, and because of the actions, when I was saying something during the launch, and he wasn't really paying attention, and he was like off and in his own world, and I said something about his wife, and he was like, I was like, listen, I got so much respect for that man after that. And that's the amazing part about what it is that we do, because we do get a chance to work with some phenomenal people. We get a chance to work with people from all different backgrounds, people that are balling, people that have the fanciest of degrees, people that have been traveling, international travelers, people that are from all different walks of life. And so, on this end, we get to learn from those who we never would have learned from had we not been in this business. So we do take it serious, right? And just like Kenneth said, I didn't know no authors growing up. I did not know a single author growing up. It just was not part of our culture, right? I'm 6'7", and at the time I graduated high school, I was 185. So yeah, I was a little straight up and down. Trust me. And so it was culturally acceptable that I played sports. It was not culturally acceptable that I was intelligent. It was not culturally. I actually got made fun of for being smart. Oh, you think you better than everybody else. So this ain't nothing new to me in my life. And everybody on here is shaking their heads like, yeah, that's the truth. It's a shame that that's our culture to to uh to to criticize those who are looking to become more intelligent. Because guess what? And I'm gonna give a little secret to the young ladies and the young fellas out there. Those smart people that you make fun of now, one day you're gonna call them boss. So you might want to be nice. You might want to be nice because they ain't all with the same loving hearts that we got. And some of them do remember that scorn that happened from back in the day. Just know I learned to fight real quick. I learned to fight real quick. but but listen, I'm excited for the journey ahead, and um, for those of y'all that are out there that are looking to connect with BOBM, I'm actually going I'm actually going to um, put the code up there so that you can connect with us and be able to work with us. If you are ready to become the next best-selling author, and I don't mean to put it in front of you like that, Angela. Angela's like, why you gotta put it over my face? It ain't like that. But for those of y'all that are ready, come on over. Listen, we got something coming up that is going to change the game completely. And when I say change the game completely, it is going to change the game completely for everybody. Um, so get your uh, get your running shoes on. Get your running shoes on. If y'all don't know who one of our first guests was, that was my sister. And like I said, we come from a family of winning. She is the most winningest NCAA athlete ever, 23-time All American. So I learned what it takes to be the best by watching the best. And so when it comes down to publishing, we're going at it with the same mindset. This team that you're looking at, and this ain't even a fourth of the, no, this is what, maybe about a third of the team that is behind the scenes for you all. Um, we heard some of the things that were said by those of you who have worked with BOBM in the past, and we listen. You just don't. We don't listen at your pace. We listen at our pace. saying that to say sometimes things you want things to move like this, but when it comes down to business, sometimes things move at a little bit different pace because we want to do it effectively, efficiently, and with the level of excellence. That's the word I will continue to use. I never use the word perfection. I always use the word excellence because perfection doesn't exist. There's only one man that ever walked this earth that we can all agree was perfect. But there is a bunch of people who are shooting for a level of excellence, and excellence is giving it your best every chance you get. That's what we've went behind the scenes to do. So we have our business systems in place, and let me point that way. Our business systems in place. We have our customer relations, Miss Nisi. We have our international. Let me just do it that way. We got our international branch on here, but we also have some powerful. We brought in more powerful editors. We brought in more powerful graphic designers. We have we got one of the best in the industry when it comes down to audio. Over 20 years in the industry, Mr. Deuce Malone himself, who has not only been in the industry, but also worked with a lot of Grammy nominated artists and Grammy award winning artists. Um, we have our marketing and sales team in place. We have our compliance team in place. We have our business solutions team in place. And guess what? We're getting ready to start helping y'all with y'all events because we want to see you all win at the level that we've seen it before. Some of y'all have some powerful historical books that y'all have sat on the shelf because just like Miss Nisi said, some of your friends and family that ain't never wrote a book before then got in your head and discouraged you and told you why you doing this book thing, and you put it on the shelf and just sat it there when in actuality you got the key to changing somebody's life in your hands, right? I, I I'll put it this way, and I'm gonna get off my soapbox, but y'all got me going, right? Um, we all are a door. We're all a door. And if you look at yourself as a door, here's what happens. You can be the door that opens and unlocks somebody's future, or you can be the door that shuts in somebody's face because you aren't willing to assist and help them to their level of greatness. That book that you wrote, if they don't have access to you, they still have access to those words. And your words have power for it. Life, the power of life and death lies in the tongue. But when you write it down and you write the vision and make it plain, then guess what? That allows them to read it and hear exactly what you said with your mouth because it's now on paper and it's helping to change somebody's life. Don't give up on yourself because some knucklehead around you said that your book wasn't worth 2 cents. Because guess what? It took you months and probably even years to get that book out, and they haven't written one single word in their book. So don't let the opinion of others who haven't done what you're trying to do stop you from going where you're trying to go. Because usually the people who have opinions that matter will stop what they're doing and help you get to where you're going. Whereas the opinions of people who don't matter are going to be the same ones that slow you down on your journey to success. And you deserve so much better in your life. Stop letting people who haven't done what you're trying to do tell you what's not possible because the word impossible itself is the biggest joke in the dictionary. For the word impossible is actually 3 words, or you can break it down to 2. I am possible. I'm possible. So remember that next time somebody tells you that it's impossible, because with man, this is impossible. But with God, all things are possible. I'm off my soapbox. Anybody want to chime in? Come on. Y'all just gonna leave it?
Yeah, for the sake, I mean, you closed it out. You brought it all home.
How's somebody gonna come behind that?
Nah.
Yeah.
Boom.
Boom. Yeah. Mic drop.
Listen, y'all. In all honesty, we love each and every one of y'all and can't wait to work with each and every one of y'all out there. Uh, you've been sitting on the book for the longest. Now is the time. I don't want to get all Suge Knight on y'all, but if you don't want your editor and your publisher dancing all in your videos,
In the
all
video.
on your books, come on over to BOBM. These are just jokes. We just having fun, y'all. But on the cool, make sure y'all visit
Oh.
www.bobmpublishing.com and set up that appointment. Look at some of the things that we're doing. And for those of you who have already published with us, make sure you go and get registered on the website because the links to order your books are and some helpful tips are actually on the in the back office now available for you. We've been behind the scenes working and we've been working for you. Y'all just
Yeah,
keep
yeah.
It's powerful stuff out there. I know it's powerful stuff out there. So, sure, it's hard to come behind you, because you drop it so much. But it's this is good. As I tell my children, my sons, remember who you are. Remember how valuable you are. Remember that you come from good stock. Good stock
Mm,
over here. This is a great place to be over here. Great things are going on. And Kenneth said it well. You have to do some investigating when you out there looking at other people because there might be a scammer.
Mm,
Ain't nothing scamming over
mm,
here unless you want to write a book about
yeah.
being scammed because you got scammed on. Okay. Yeah, you can come over here and do that. But if you're looking to if you're looking for the best, look no further. It is here. If you're looking to grow, look no further. Come here. You don't understand? We gonna
Mm,
bring it home so you can understand. So it's great
mm,
things going on over here. And then we have the special guest, Miss Angela, in my southern voice. How to do to you, ma'am. So it's great stuff like that going on over here, and you're gonna feel good with writing your first book. I mean, it is just so much. It's just so much for me. So many doors have been opened up for me, and people now,
mm.
saying, "I know you do." Okay, and so that's when I come back again in my southern hospitality. Thank you kindly. You know, so it's great things going on over here. Come on over here and let's talk about how to get this book published. Stop listening to other people that ain't got one book published. Come on over here, let's get this book published. That's a boom for me.
Boom.
Boom.
yeah.
Can I just say, how do you do, Miss Nisi?
How to do.
As you guys say, how you doing? Yeah. Um, um, we are a bunch of pattern breakers, earth shakers, striving to break every glass ceiling and breaking that illusion of perfection and just like Sugary said, working in excellence, and is a great opportunity to be part of a great team. If you want to be, how do they put it? Your network is your net worth, and the people you hang around with. If you hang around a bunch of winners, you become a winner. And if you
Mm,
hang around a bunch of that's just fill in the blanks, you become, just like the people you hang around. Iron sharpeneth iron. And we are striving for excellence. And we've been through what you've been through. And I came across a quote on a friend's page that said, You had a purpose before everyone else had an opinion. So, you have a purpose. And sometimes when you're reaching for the stars, you get this opposition from others because they've seen you hang around with them, and all of a sudden you're trying to break that pattern and do something that they are not familiar with,
mm,
and they kind of feel threatened in a way, and so they try to speak negatively into your ears and try to bring you down. But you have a purpose, you have a vision, and you need to strive to bring that vision into manifestation. And you can do that by hanging around people that fuel you with faith, and people that fuel you with take your vision and even make it more grander
Come on.
than how you imagined it to be. Take you places that you've never been, and it is very powerful when you meet such people, when you connect with such individuals, and this is what we are about as a team. So I'm really honored and privileged to be part of this amazing team, and I'm just looking forward to the future, what the future holds, and it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be phenomenal, and we are just gonna break every barrier. We are just breaking every ceiling.
Come on.
You can't put a cap on us. You can't limit us. We're just gonna come boom,
Come
boom,
on.
Miss Nisi. We're just gonna come boom, break down your doors and knock down, every limiting beliefs that you have. We are a winning team. We are a winning team, and come and join us. That's all I'm saying.
Come on. Come on.
Yeah. And we're gonna have fun doing it too. That's the other thing. Like you see, we have fun. It smiles. This is what it's supposed to be. We're all walking in our purpose. And when you do things like that, it's love. It's fun. And so that's what this is about over here. So yeah.
Let's get it. Listen, we breaking every chain. We are moving mountains. And for those of y'all out there, it's time. It's time. Right? This is the time, this is the place, and this is the season. And I'll be honest, you are the person. So let's go ahead and make this reality. Thank y'all for tuning in with us. This has been a pleasure. This has been an honor, and we just wanted to kind of give y'all a little bit of the behind the scenes of what's going on with BOBM, and we look forward to seeing y'all on the other side, on the inside of the BOBM family. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all, and we'll see y'all next week. Love y'all.